Hey guys, welcome back to whatever this is, and Happy New Year's, guys. It's the end of the year, so let's just get into it. I'm going to do my top games for 2020. Now, note, these are my opinions, and they are games that I played during 2020, so games I was actually able to either start or finish throughout this year. Most of them I did start at the beginning of this year, some of them I started last year, and was only able to finish them this year. So that's pretty much my criteria for this year. So it can be a little all over the place. So, alright guys, whatever this is, let's go. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Excellent game. Just fantastic. If you like the originals, I would recommend these ones. They are a nice throwback. You can play them for about 5, 10, 15 minutes. Get a feel for what you're doing. Move on to the next game. Excellent choice if you're looking for a good pick up and play, and an even better remake of an old game. Ys Memory of Suluceta. This is also a fantastic game because every game I play is good. But Ys games are great pick up and play games where you can kind of not play them for a little bit, and it's really easy to pick up and then continue on what you're doing. If you haven't played any of the Adventures of Adol, I don't know if I'd say this is the best one, but this is a really good one regardless. It's not one of the starter ones I would say, but if you see it at a good price, Ys, excellent pickup if you ever get the opportunity. Ys Origin. This is actually a really good one to pick up and play. Though note, it is a very old game. It is a game from 2006. Very quick, fast pick up and play. I enjoyed it immensely. I didn't actually play it until very, very recently. I have a Switch copy ordered in. That's how much I like it, as I'm willing to buy the game again, but for the system I love to just collect for. Resident Evil 4. I played this game numerous times. I just wanted to throw this in here because I thought it would be funny. And it kind of is because this game is old as heck. It's on everything. I've beaten it multiple times, but during a lockdown time, this was a very nice comfort food to replay and enjoy. Fire Emblem Echoes. This game was excellent. It's a very old school Fire Emblem, so the way magic works is a little bit different than what it did in previous games. So a lot of people didn't like that from like kind of the old school throwback on how magic would work. It eats your HP as you do damage. I don't know, it was kind of refreshing to just play a very different Fire Emblem game, and it wasn't the world's biggest time sink for a Fire Emblem game, so it was nice to play like kind of Fire Emblem light. I'd love to see more Fire Emblem games kind of this stature, you know. Still amazing combat, but, you know, maybe a bit smaller in scope. This was one of the first games I actually beat of last year. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE. I adored this game. It is bafflingly stupid, yet amazing all at the same time. The music is super catchy, very fun. The combat is very much Persona. This is, I call this dumb Persona. If you like the Persona 5 games, 4 or 3, check this game out. It's pretty much Persona. Just the main characters are super dumb, and how they talk about how everything, you know, being an idol is like this very important task. It's very noble. It's funny, it's kooky, it's a good, enjoyable ride. And I love the fact that, again, another Wii U game that everyone skipped out on getting at least a second chance. The Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I love this game. The first game I played right off the bat, Mario 64, plowed through it. My girlfriend got very mad at me because I had beaten Mario 64 before she did, and I win, so that's what matters here. And I've never actually played Galaxy, and this was my first time playing it. You take out the waggle out of that game, I was finally down, and I really enjoyed it. I can see why people still point it as one of the best, and that would be one game you should pick up this year if you haven't already. Now, before I get to my top 3 games of the year, and in these games will be very specifically ordered. These ones were kind of all over the place, didn't really care. I did want to give some notices to games that I picked up, but I didn't get around to playing. So the first one I want to give notice to was Persona 5. I know I did the unboxing video really early on in the year. It was one of my first videos. It's cool. I love it. Something came up and I got distracted by it at the time, unfortunately. But it is one I am still planning on going back to and finishing up. So I didn't include it this year because I haven't finished it yet. The other game was more of a recent pickup. It came out, I think it was back in June. I picked up Ghost of Tsushima. Now, everyone's told me this is going to be my favorite game My problem is I haven't played it. As you can see, the saran wrap is still on it. I will be playing it. I'm just finished up Spider-Man Miles, so this is the next game that's getting thrown in. Now, for the top 3, I think I've got my order for it. So, coming in number 3 for this year, it did technically come out this year, so I can also cheat, but I didn't finish it till earlier in this year. My number 3 choice is Dragon Quest XI: Echoes of Elusive Age. This is your most standard of standard RPGs. It's a good time. Every story beat you start to see, you'll be like, yeah, I've seen that beat. I know where this is going. Here's the problem. This game is so well done in its execution. Everyone just needs to experience this game. This game is an experience. It's a long game. It's a very enjoyable game. If you can play it on the Switch, it does help with the grind fest because this game is long. I picked this game up last September. I didn't finish it till early this year. So please check it out. Super enjoyable, great story, and I have to mention the voice acting is incredible. The world it built, I loved all of them. Rav is one of the funniest characters in the entire game. I loved every stupid little gag with him. So guys, that is my number 3. Now, my number 2 is kind of a cheat, because it's technically kind of 2 games, but I really still count it as 1. It's gonna be Spider-Man Remaster and Spider-Man Miles for the PlayStation 5. Specifically, the 5. The remaster of the original game was beautiful. The facial animation on Peter is a little weird to get used to, but I swear you get used to it. I swear you get used to it after a while. It's really nice. And I like how they're building up Miles, clearly meaning they're going to do a sequel to this game, like more of a proper sequel, where it is Peter and Miles purely working together throughout the entire game. So this was to build up Miles as a character, so that when they get to the second game, they already know what they're doing with him. You know his powers. People know whom he is. And it's great. I've known Miles as a character for many years now. I had a friend years ago at a convention tell me all about Miles and how good of a character he was before all this new popularity for him. And I love the fact he's getting that popularity. He's a great character. And he bounces really well off Peter as well. And if you haven't played either of these games, I would strongly recommend this first, then this. Though this game does feel like glorified DLC with like a little bit more polish than you would see like what they would have done. Like I feel like the extra polish was for the Christmas environment. And that being said, this game is technically, like Die Hard, it's a Christmas video game. So alright guys, my number 1, unfortunately I still don't own a physical copy of it because I did download it, as at the time trying to get a physical copy was incredibly difficult. But my number 1 game for 2020, whatever this year is, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is my personal number 1. I can't think of another time where I just let a game eat me. I dove into it. I platinumed that game in 2 weeks. I love the expansion to the world. If they're going where I think they're going with this franchise, I am very excited for what they do for Final Fantasy Remake 2. It is excellent. If you like the original or you played it and you just kind of have a minor curiosity, sure, pick it up. Pick it up when it's like $50 Canadian. It's a really, really good price. But I would say check it out. Enjoy it. It is a trip, especially the more you know about Final Fantasy going into it. It really helps with the latter half of that game because it gets real neat because they're really digging into the lore. And I loved it to pieces. The combat was pretty buttery smooth for the most part. And as I figured it out, I got a lot better at breaking my enemies' guards and just ripping this game apart. Even though when I transferred to my PS5, I have now lost that file. I am super upset about it that I need to do another run through of that game, but not really. Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 is my game of 2020, and that's where I'll leave this episode, guys. So, what are your games for 2020? What games did you finish? What games would you say would be your top 3? So anyways, guys, take care. Happy New Year, and take care of yourself into 2021. Take care. Have a good one.